for any maintenance needs on your commercial or personal vehicle. EVG Lawn Store Service specializes on European, Asian, and domestic vehicles. We can assist you with wheel alignments, tire balance, AC services, computer and electric diagnostic, and more. We're located at corner of 1230 Aldine Mail Route and Reeston Road in Houston 77039. Our phone number is 936-344-1672, or you can find us on our webpage www.evglss.com. EVG Lone Star. If it's got wheels, we can fix it.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
The program presented or submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
Welcome to Woodlands Pride and Lending Show, WPL, man. You in the WPL, Woodlands Pride and Lending Show, broadcasting live on 91.1 FM, the Boss Radio, right here in the greater Woodlands area. Hey, let's talk about something. We got a special guest in the studio today. We're going to get to old Gabe Rodarte here in a few minutes. Gabe is more than just a realtor, and we're going to talk more about that here in a few minutes. I want to talk about Woodlands Prime Lending real quick. Don't want to turn this to an infomercial, but hey, let's talk about something. I had somebody come here today, and they're looking for, I actually had a couple of people come here today looking for money, and when they put the gun down, I gave them the money. No, okay. Thank you very much. We had a guy come here today. He's looking for money for a really upscale club here in the Woodlands area, and it's going to be, it's going to be something that is not within the radius of the Woodlands. It's a first class place. It's like 8,000 square feet. It really looks sharp. It's going to be a place where you dress to impress, take your honey out and go do your thing, so to speak, and shake your leg and just have a great time. But they're looking for some money on that, so we're helping those people out with that. We had another client that's looking for money for a commercial purchase. This one is roughly about $600,000, and it's a building, and they're looking to do that. So I connect them up over there with that. And then, of course, when I talked to them earlier, they're doing loan apps. They got a new loan app, say, on residentials as well. So all this activity is going on here at Woodlands Prime Lending. And we talked about this on yesterday's show, about why buy, all the reasons why you should buy versus, sitting in your rental apartment and everything else. We talked about that yesterday. So I don't go into that. If you missed it, catch yesterday's show, because it was a full show on just why buy. But anyway, my point is this. If you're sitting out there on the fence and you're thinking, I want to buy, consider it, take a step. And at 3 o'clock in the morning while your wife's asleep, get up, go to the computer, go to woodlandsprimelending.com and hit apply. You know what that's going to do? It's going to ask you for some general information. That general information will spark a phone call the next day, because JC ain't going to call you at 3 o'clock in the morning. He might. Next day he'll call you, ask you some basic questions, get you pre-qualified. Guess how much pre-qualification cost you? $0. Now you know whether you can buy or not. Now you know whether you just waste your time or, hey, you know what, we got a green light, we're good to go. So do that, man. Get pre-qualified. woodlandsprimelending.com, click on the little thing there and go with it. Okay, now let's talk about the other reason why you want to get off the fence and do something. How many of you guys and gals out there have seen the commercials, man? You're sitting there on weekends and you see this thing at the Hilton, at the Marriott, the big hotel, the big event, and it's some celebrity says, man, come on out here. I'm going to teach you how to flip homes. I'm going to teach you how to buy a house and flip it, and you'll be a millionaire. Tommy Vu on the boat with, 2 a.m. in my country. Well, those things are missed. Not all of it. It's good information, but, if you stop and think about it, if 100 people took that class, how many actually truly went out and got off the fence and did something with it? And is that celebrity that's selling that program physically there to teach it to you? Probably not, but his proteges are that he pays to go out there and do it. Is the information valid? It probably is valid. But, you know, it's one of those things where even if you go and you walk out of there, it's still, you have to take the emotional action the very next day, because you go home, you sleep, and those little devils start playing your mind. You can't do that. Why, golly, are you kidding me? There's no way you can do that. Look at you. And you listen to them. Okay, what you need to do is you need to wake up first thing in the morning, go to your computer, turn on Grant Cardone, baby. All right. Turn on Grant Cardone. Let Grant tell you can do it, and you will do it. But you got to get out your comfort zone. Now, I'm guilty of this as anybody else. I'm getting ready to start doing some fix and flips myself. I'm getting ready to get off my daily routine and step outside of my daily comfort zone and stay up maybe a little bit later, get up a little bit earlier, and I'm going to do this. Me and Delia talked about it. We're going to do this. And Gabe's going to help us. He don't even know it yet, but he's going to help us.
Let's do it.
You know, and we're going to talk more about what I am referring to, fix and flips, properties, actually taking the action part to get involved in this industry and make money at it. And guess how much money you need? Very, very little. So you guys who are working a 9-to-5 job, you're paying your bills just a little bit extra, perfect for you, okay? Because it's not going to take a whole lot of money to do this. And Gabe's going to explain this. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to take a short commercial break. That's right, Gabe. You tell him. A short commercial break. When we come back, Gabe Rodarte. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
This is E.L. Crane of Real Estate U here each and every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 91.1 FM The Boss. Remember, that's Real Estate U. Insightful, informative, and a little humor tossed in. Real Estate U, listening live, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. each and every Saturday at 91.1 The Boss.
For fresh flowers fast, call Barb's Iris Floral at 281-820-2294 with excellent customer service since 1983 for weddings, funeral services, sweet 15s, corporate events, and all occasions. For that special someone you love, barbsirisfloral.com and barbsirisfloralboutique.com. Come on in and pick out of our prestigious gallery at 727 Westmont Houston Road, Houston, Texas 77038. Text 832-466-8414. Barb's Iris Floral delivers fresh flowers fast.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNY 91.1 FM.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Trey from the Daily Buzz Radio Show.
And Taylor, be sure to watch us Monday through Friday, 12 to 1.
With our new guests in our new season.
For any maintenance needs on your commercial or personal vehicle, EVG Lawn Store Service specializes on European, Asian, and domestic vehicles. We can assist you with wheel alignments, tire balance, AC services, computer and electric diagnostic, and more. We're located at the corner of 1230 Aldine Mail Route and Reeston Road in Houston 77039. Our phone number is 936-344-1672, or you can find us on our webpage www.evglss.com. EVG Lawn Star. If it's got wheels, we can fix it.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Woo! Hey, welcome back to WPL Woodlands Prime Lending Show. Man, those guys that stayed on Instagram while we're in a break caught a really good off-camera show. How about that? A relationship show. Hey, welcome back to Woodlands Prime Lending. Today we have in studio the Gabe Rodarte.
What's up?
Gabe, man, you talking about busy. Let me tell you something. It took me at least 4 or 5 bookings. I went by his house a few times, knocked on his door at 3 a.m.
I forgot to show up one time.
He threatened to shoot me.
Yeah,
Finally, he said, I'll show up at your show. You send a car to come get me with lunch. So, hey, here he is. Gabe, man,
awesome.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Tell us
man.
what you do, man.
All right, man. So, what do we do? Where do you want to go, man?
Gabe is a pizza delivery guy. He washed the dishes.
You name it. Inside, I'm a cook, chef. You name it. Yeah, so we're investing, right? Real estate investing. So Vertical House Buyers is our primary operating company. We also run a buy and hold company. We also run North Houston Real Estate Investors, which is a local investor.
That's where you have classes once a month.
We
correct?
do classes.
Okay.
Basically, it's a full networking event. So what we try to do is really just put out really good content. I mean, we put a lot of effort into content, into making sure that whoever's showing up, it's called Learn, Connect, Grow, or Learn, Connect, Build. And so there's always connecting and networking. That's really key, especially when you're investing. I mean, you need to know everybody in case you're ever in a jam or just to pick up properties.
Are you listening, Delia? Yeah. Okay.
You need to know everybody, Delia. Everybody. What's up, Evan?
You know, and that's one of the things, when you do your classes, Maria Isabel goes live, and that comes out on Facebook, and I watch your classes. We're actually going to attend, it's probably them calling in right now, want some money. But you know, I want to attend one of your classes and go through the content of it. But an example, me and Delia, you know, we've never really done this in the past. How do you start?
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so one of the things I always tell people is that before you start, you have to get up to date and up to speed on what you want to do. All right, so there's three things, right? So you have pretty much a goal. So right now, you guys, first house, what you guys are doing in this 2019, right?
Right.
So what do you want to do with that? Where at do you want to do it? What's market do you want to buy it in? Right, and then just start getting educated in that area, because some contractors don't go towards North Houston.
Now, when you say market, you mean price range?
Price range.
When you said what market you want to buy in?
Yeah, what market you want to buy in. So Katy is different than this area, Montgomery County area, right? So, and then also the different submarkets. What price range do you want to be in and operate in? Do you want to be in $600,000 range? Do you want to be in $200,000, $250,000 range? I normally tell people that if you're just getting started, you want to follow the money. Right, so you could go to Woodlands Prime Lending, and Woodlands Prime Lending would say, hey, look, this is normally the price range that people are lending, that we lend out money with the most. And so what that means is that if that's where 70% of the lending is happening in, that means that there's 70% of people buying in that range, in that price range,
that's
right? So that's
idea.
probably 150 to 250 right there. That's the range. You know, if you go below that, great. You're probably going to move it really fast, but there's not much equity. There's not much money you're going to make on those type of deals. So if you operate right below 250, it's a pretty safe area to move in.
I got a question for you. Would you tell a first-time person doing this, go for the gold, or just move your property and go through the experience?
That's a good question. That's a case by case. So I love real estate because every property helps you. Every property has its own signature, right? I mean, man, there's properties that we show up, and I mean, I've been doing flipping for 13 years now.
Wow.
From my construction background, that's how I got into it all. We're doing our own stuff for about 5 years, and man, there's properties we go into, and I'm thinking, like, honestly, don't you know who I am? Don't you know I know how to do this? And it just kicks your tail. So really, the thing is, nobody's just absent from making mistakes or something like that, right? But let that property define for it. You know, what's the exit strategy? So that's really the key. So you have your market area. All right, you know what you want to do. You're going to flip. All right, now you know what area of town you want to go in. Now we need to be educated in that area and what's buying, what's selling, right? What price range are you going to be in? Let's say you want to operate in that $250 price range, right? $250,000 is what the after repair value is, the ARV, and you're picking up for 140, 150, something like that. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to check out your exit strategies for that area. So your exit strategies, what are ways to exit a property? Well, sell it on the market, right? You could short sell it on the market. Let's say you get in some trouble, right? And you just need to move that property.
Even take a loss?
You could even, short sell it. Not so much take so much of a loss, but really you're discounting it gigantically just to move the property.
You only make a couple grand on it.
Yeah, you're just moving it, okay? Because that can happen. All right, now I've seen a lot of new people, they don't think about that. They only think about go for the gold, and they don't think about some of the other avenues of how to exit a property. What about if this is a great area to have rentals in, right? Well, that's a different exit strategy, totally different, right? And then you have seller financing. I mean, there's so many great strategies in real estate that you can do to exit a property. So if you go into a property and there's only one way, like you know you're at the $600,000 price range and you know the only way to exit this thing is to sell it at $600,000, you better make sure it sells at 600,000. Otherwise, you're going to lose some money.
You're going to sit on it for a while.
You're going to be sitting on it, or you're going to discount it to move it.
Yeah.
You know, after months of agony and 3 o'clock in the morning, wondering what to do. So, the more exit strategies, the better off you are. Right? That's typical. But how do you find those things out? So that's why we run our networking group, so that we can talk about the different ways to go into a property and the different ways to get out of the property, different ways to purchase a property. There's so many different ways to buy real estate. That's what's fun about real estate. You could finance real estate in so many different ways.
You can get creative.
You get really creative. It's fun. I mean, it's really fun. And then
I traded a Harley for a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I mean, it's like bartering, right?
Yeah.
So you could do that. Yeah, that's.
Hey, what's it cost for the consumer to join your networking group?
Nothing.
Really?
Man, we're free, man.
Really?
Yeah, our vendors, we have some awesome vendors. Our vendors come in and they help us put it together. We've been doing this for 3.5 years. We know what we're doing. We have some really top-notch people that come through there. We have top-notch speakers. We always try to have great speakers, great content. And the major thing is, so I joined some coaching programs a while back. That's how we really got started. So we were part of that, some of those groups that you mentioned earlier where you just, the guy was probably on a beach somewhere while I'm in the room just, thinking I'm taking his notes, but really
Tommy Boo in my country.
Somebody else took the notes and put it into PDF. So,
yeah.
But basically, what was I going to say? Oh, what we try to do is try to get things to be applicable as possible. So the moment you leave our event, you should have at minimum 5 golden nuggets for you to put into practice the very next day.
And now let me add something. That's what I was referring to right there. That night, something eats on people.
Yeah.
They wake up that morning, and it's not the same as when they left your class, and those negative thoughts come to your head.
All the time. All the time.
You got to fight those demons, man.
You got to fight those demons, bro.
You got to beat them, man. Grant Cardone, get on the phone.
A lot of times people just come and just kind of see what it's about and what kind of, how much work really needs to get put into it. And then you put it on the back burner for 3 or 4 months and go, okay, I know I need to do it. How am I going to do that? How am I going to put that into practice? That's really why we got coaching. We got mentorship and stuff because I knew how to do all the other things. There's just some missing links that I didn't know how to put together. So I got some mentorship coaching, and basically all he did was tell me what I already knew to do.
But gave you the encouragement to do it.
Then said, hey, when you do this, it's the right thing.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's somewhat what we do. So we help people. We take phone calls. I mean, I consult with people. I don't charge for a lot of this stuff because it all comes full circle back to me. Somehow someone's going to bring me a deal, or I'm going to help them through a process. And 6 months down the line, they can't close something that we are specialized in doing. And so we pay them a fee for doing that. Anything from people doing driving for dollars, and we'll help them do that. So because when you're getting started, every $1,000 matters. You want to make sure that this thing works before you put more energy into it. So yeah, that's.
Well, let me ask you something. We're gonna call you Professor Gabe here.
Professor Gabe.
We're actually going to bypass our break so we can get some of this content in. Let me ask you something. Going back to ARV value versus appraised value, what's the difference between the two?
ARV value and appraised value. Appraised value, right, is okay. So appraised value, you're normally looking at the appraisal value whenever you're dealing with the lender. Okay, so if you're going to a hard money lender, they're going to send an appraiser out there to go make sure and verify that that property is good. When you're looking at the ARV stands for after repair value. You would think it's the appraisal value, but the appraisal value, whenever someone says appraisal, that means a bank's going to lend money on that value.
Not the ARV.
They'll call it ARV, but really it's the appraisal that determines where it's at, because they're going to have 3 to 6 comps that are in there specifically that are comps, like really to the square footage. Pool in the backyard, no pool in the backyard. New windows or no new windows. I mean, all of that stuff really has to be in there. When you do the ARV, after repair value, you could say it's the appraisal. The difference is you're really doing that yourself.
But a lot of sellers sell based on their ARV versus the appraisal.
All the time. All the time.
It's worth $6 billion.
All the time. Yeah, that's when people go, yeah, but will it appraise for that? Well, this is the ARV. Yeah, but will it appraise for that?
I had yesterday on our show, we were talking about a common question that I have tons of realtors tell, or people telling realtors say, when you go out there, what's the most important question about that property Okay, what's the most important question about that property?
Oh my goodness, what's the most?
You're the captain.
What if I'm the captain? What's the most important question is what is this thing going to be able to sell for?
Okay. So what's the second most important? What's it worth?
What's it worth?
Same thing.
Yeah.
You know, what's this property going to appraise for? And I tell people, when you ask that realtor that's selling that product what it's appraised for, they're going to tell you this. They're going to say, well, properties in this area sell for, and you go, what does this one sell for? You know?
Oh yeah, there's this property. I just got a call. There's a property across the street that went for $250, and I'm going out there and I'm looking at it, and I didn't actually go look at this one yet because when I ran the comps, I'm seeing $190.
Really?
Right. Well, the one across the street also had a pool. Also is 500 square feet bigger.
Oh,
also is all these other things. I was like, that's not the comp. You know, it's
you know, but it came from a certain person's mouth, and it has validity in some sort. You know,
right.
And you know, it's all part of the game. I mean, it's just part of what happened. I wish everyone played by the rules, but in real life, they just don't.
There's not a lot of rules.
Exactly. You know, you have the advantage that you've been doing this for a lot of years. You're also a realtor.
I am a native.
With Abbey Realty, which, by the way, if you're in the North Houston Woodlands area, Abbey Realty is huge. Frank Dre has a huge organization.
Great operation, yeah.
And Gabe is part of the operation. But now, you have the advantage that you have certain tools that not everyone has, that you can make evaluations. But you've been doing this so long, you could probably listen to a person's story and look at the pictures of property, and you're already forming an evaluation.
Yeah.
What do you look for?
In a property?
What are some of the things you look for? There's too many to name all.
Oh, man, yeah. So, goodness, man. So, what do we look for? It all goes on the exit strategy. What is that property? If it's on certain sides of town, you're not going to flip this house. You're probably going to pick up a house that's going to be a rental. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Certain areas of town.
Name one area.
When you're looking at like South Park, some of those areas that are in the South Houston area, those are great rental areas. Some of them are good flippables if you get them dirt cheap. You get them cheap enough. There's some areas that are up in Montgomery County that you want to hold on to them for a longer period of time because they're going to be rental. The neighborhoods aren't going to go in basically the.
How about April Sound? Is that one?
Man, why are you naming all the neighborhoods and stuff on? This is live, man.
Why am I putting you on the spot?
Yeah, because he's like, why Upper Sound? I did find a property the other day.
Give me the address.
Let's run comps right now. Again, you have to be really educated on the exit of what you're going to do. All right. I mean, there's some people that we try to help out in properties where we could just get the investor after they've done 3 or 4 of them back to zero. After they've done all these, we won. Because sometimes you get into a property and you're overdoing it, and that's really key. I mean, imagine going into a neighborhood where the ARV or the appraisal won't go above 250, right? And you're going out to Ferguson's Plumbing Supplies and you're picking up top-notch caliber, oil rub runs, all this different type of stuff, super high-class brushed nickel, and it won't ever go. It's not going to work for that.
It's not going to affect that value.
New build homes don't even do stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you do when you are in a situation like that? Like, I guess you do what you talked about. You basically sell for what you can sell. I mean, you only make a couple of $1,000 on it, but you get out of it. That's your exit strategy. Sometimes you change your exit strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Because, man, I got to liquidate this thing.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
Yeah.
Or maybe, you got some other calls for that money that you need it for,
Yep. And you hear that a lot. I mean, that happens. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's so this is real estate, so you got to treat it like a business. You don't want to treat it just like a one-off type deal.
It's not a hobby. I like that.
Yeah. If you treat it like a hobby, so hobbies cost money, right?
Yeah.
And so it's going to cost you a lot of money, right? A lot of money. And this is the type of hobby that if you do it, if you treat it like a hobby and you do it wrong, you're holding on to a piece of property because you can't move it.
Yeah.
Either that or you're going to take a loss.
Yeah.
Purposely to get rid of it.
Well, let me ask you something. So the guy who's got the 9-to-5 job, and he says, I'm gonna be the next real estate guy out there. You're not saying don't quit your 9-to-5er. No. But go out there. Don't do 2, 3, or 4 of them at one time. Do one at a time. What's your advice?
Absolutely, yeah. Do one at a time. So if you have a full-time, if you're a W-2 or just have a job or self-employed, whatever it is, don't get rid of that. That's actually one of your best assets to have because you're bankable. Right? Yeah. You see other stuff that's there that if you don't have that, you're not really bankable. right? And so you could be doing other things with it. You could pull out other lines of credit. You could be doing a lot of other stuff with that W-2. Most people don't even know you can do that sets you up for success. So a lot of people think of the money for, we were just talking earlier, make 20, 25, 30 grand on a piece of property. Well, that's great, but if you do it over 6 months, you know,
you average out per month.
Yeah, you know. So this is a game of averages, right? So what we want to do is think 5, 10 years and think in decades. And this is something I've had one of my contractors and one of my major mentors say, real estate is really good when you think in decades. It's not when you think about just that one deal. Because if you look at investing in the stock market, all right, you're not going to win every single time. Right. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. You're going to have people that tell you, hey, just ride it out, ride it out. Well, if you lose on a real estate piece of property and you have to come to the table with $3,000, $4,000, but you learned a ton. That's only $3,000 of education. People pay more than that for college.
And you probably, well, I can't say never, but you probably wouldn't go that same route on another deal and lose money anytime soon because you learn your lessons.
You learn your lessons as you go, so it's a law of averages, right? So it's a game of averages when you look over. So when you look at it in decades, right, which is so beautiful, you can take some of those learning lessons and it doesn't hurt as much. I'm doing one right now. I'm taking a big learning lesson on it, but you know what? I needed to learn it.
Wow.
Right?
And it's okay. Been years you've been, okay, I got to squeeze something in here. Because how much money do people need to start this type of deal?
That's a good question. It depends what they're going to be doing.
So say a fix and flip, 200,000 below.
200,000 below. Well, it depends on what they're buying at and what kind of repairs they got to do. You really don't need a lot of money.
Let me give you the address. No.
You really don't need a lot of cash. You could be looking at maybe $5,000 to $10,000.
Yeah.
You know, and the only reason why I tell people that the more and more I get into it, the more and more I think that you need to have cash on hand is because sometimes there's emergencies and stuff that pops up that people don't take into consideration. You know, there's just things that happen, and every house has its own personality. Yeah. Right. So you don't know what the seller did in that house beforehand or what they didn't tell you about the house. Right? It might not all be in that seller's disclosure whenever you bought it and realize, oh man, there was a cat that died in the AC duct.
And he's still there.
That's what that smell is. Oh man. You know, so it contaminates everything and you're like, okay, let's just check. So there's just certain things that you want to account for. So yeah, you don't need a lot of cash to get involved. The thing that costs, so I tell people, so this is what we talk about. The barrier to entry is really zero. There's not a barrier to entry for real estate investing. For any type of real estate, to be a realtor. The thing is, the learning curve is so steep. It's so incredibly steep to get up to a place where you're learning well. You got to get educated. You got to have people around. You have the network of
That's
people.
when you take an educated example, attending your once a month. When is that?
Yeah.
When is the next?
So North Houston Real Estate Investors. That's the second Monday of every month. All right. It's over here at the Holiday Inn Express. It rarely changes every now and then.
Right off of Rayford?
Right off of Rayford Road, Holiday Inn Express.
What time?
That starts, doors open at 6:30, ends around 8:30ish, 9. There's a lot of networking and hanging out and stuff like that. Networking starts at 6:30, meaning that's really when you want to show up because that's when you're meeting the vendors. A lot of people don't know that, you know, even though you go into a networking event, even if it's not real estate, and you see vendors lining, that could be part of your team, and you don't even know it.
Right.
Most of the guys that are there, and ladies that are there, I could call them at any moment, and they can help me out, even if I don't need their service. You know? Man, that's valuable.
North Houston Real Estate
Investors.
That's
right.
Rayford Road 45, first Tuesday of this coming month, so it'll be in about a little over a week.
First Tuesday of the first Monday. No. You got me. Second Monday of every month.
Second Monday. How is there a webpage?
Yeah, so you go to northhoustonrei.com. You go to Facebook, North Houston REI. You could, meet up. It's all over Meetup.
If not, look up Gabriel Darte on Facebook.com. Gabe, it's been great having you here. Guess what? We're going to come pick you up and bring you back again real soon. Okay? Let me tell you something. This has been incredible. He is giving us a classroom lesson in 30 minutes or less. And there's so much more to know about what Gabe has been talking about. Woodlands Prime Lending. Be tuning in tomorrow. We have more. So tomorrow, 3 p.m. on 91.1 FM The Boss. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
Ooh.